Under green at Homestead. Tony Stewart trying to get a lap back from Dale Jarrett.
And Jarrett got up high going down in turn one. We've seen cars several times. When they make that high entry, the car slides up the hill, the 10 car. And now Jarrett weaving his car back and forth, trying to get that debris off his tires.
Well, as you guys said at the top of the broadcast, people don't want to be messing with the championship contenders today and take a chance on being the one to take them out.
And I said during break here, we were talking about, I bet that 88 doesn't run the 20 real hard down into turn one on this restart.
Now the question is, how effective are the adjustments that Greg Zipadelli made to Tony Stewart's car? Can he stay in front of Dale Jarrett as things settle out and they start to put some laps on? Probably
Not too long. I think Dale Jarrett will probably catch Tony. Like you said, if they didn't make a big improvement on the car, he's going to catch him in 5 or 6 laps. But maybe they made the right call.
Johnny Benson also through Jarrett, tail end of the lead lap, so that's a bumper car for Tony Stewart. And of course, Tony's best hope now is for a quick caution. Stewart 21st, Benson 22nd. Last car on the lead lap, that's Johnny in the 10, just in front of Dale Jarrett, the leader, in the 88.
And in this business, when you have a caution flag and bunch all these cars up, a lot of times it brings out another caution flag.
Here comes Nemechek closing on the back bumper of the 88 Dale Jarrett. So Jarrett's going to have to get around these guys.
Mark Martin running 6th after the restart with, by the way, 2 Roush Racing teammates ahead of him in the standings. Kurt Busch running 3rd, Jeff Burton running 5th. Might there be team orders if this thing winds down this way into the closing laps? Jimmy Spencer's with Dave Burns.
And he's out of the infield care center. Jimmy, how are you and what happened?
Just it blew a right rear tire, but man, I had a good car. I'm fine, you know, just normal deal. Just thank NASCAR, you know, I can't say nothing about. They harp on me all the time about the restraints and everything they do to these cars, and I tip my hat to them. I have to thank them for it. Dr. Melvin, all those guys, and so many of them. But anyway, the target car was running good. It got up to Joe, felt like I had him. I felt like, man, this is me. I got him, and I got real loose. And then Dale Jarrett got underneath me. Then some other guys, and it just got really, really free, and just blew out going into one. You know, we were like 8 laps from a pit stop, so. You know, you just say, well, let's stay out to try and keep the car on the lead lap. You know, not get out of sequence and go on one more stop. It didn't work out for us. But, you know, I love my guys. I've had a tough year, and I think they did. I'm looking forward to next year, and I hope that Chip and his guys will get a good driver, and they're looking forward to next year, too. And I just want to tell you, I love everybody. Have a good Christmas. Thanksgiving's coming. And remember that the good Lord sent his son down here. And that's what we're all going to celebrate on Christmas Day.
All right, Jimmy, good luck getting that next ride. Bill?
Dave, Dale Jarrett in a battle with Joe Nemechek at the front of this field. Nemechek looking to the inside, going to try and make the move. Jarrett going to try and hold him off. Before that last restart, Dale Jarrett wanted to make sure he knew exactly what the situation was in the championship standings. He asked his crew. Crew Chief Todd Parrott told him what the standings were in the championship as Nemechek takes another look that Mark was 6th and that Tony was currently 21st. He said, just do what you have to do to race for the win. But he also said the 88 had already gotten their championship right now. Clean air up front. Matt?
Bill, we saw fuel or lack of it inside the Busch Series race on Saturday. Right now, the 25 car, Joe Nemechek, he is 3 laps shy of making on fuel. His teammate, Jimmy Johnson, running back and forth. If they get the best fuel mileage on this run, like they've gotten all day, they are a 1/4 of a lap short.
It'll coast a 1/4 of a lap.
Yeah.
Not very fast, but it sure beats going down pit road.
Yes, sir.
So Dale Jarrett, Joe Nemechek continuing to race for the lead. Mark Martin running in 6th. Tony Stewart running 21st. Now, because the bonus points for leading the most laps have been locked up today by Joe Nemechek, Tony now needs to finish 24th or better to win the championship, even if Mark winds up in victory lane. And he's 21st right now. There it is. If Mark finishes 6th as he runs, Tony needs to finish 34th or better. The 34th place car is 3 laps down right now, and Tony Stewart is on the tail end of the lead lap, so he'd have to have a problem. Flat tires, something like that, to fall back that far.
And all of a sudden, if Tony Stewart's car something happens to it, like happened to Jimmy Spencer's, he'll be on pit road quickly, changing 4 tires, making sure.
Well, the other side of the thing is, too, boy, the fuel mileage could really jumble up the finish order.
Yeah.
This could be one of, if this unfolds like the finish of yesterday's NASCAR Busch Series race, where there are people running out of gas all over the place in the last laps, we'll have to wait till the race is over to figure out who finished where and see where the whole championship is. And believe me, I said this yesterday, but yesterday was the proof. This is not over until the checkered flag waves. Anything can happen. Still, Nemechek pressuring Dale Jarrett for the lead. Marty.
Obviously, Mark Martin has to catch his teammates that are in front of him. But Ben Leslie, if you do catch your 2 teammates in front of you, will they pull over and let you pass?
I doubt that. You know, we've got sponsor agreements and everything else. They're going to race us just like every other team. Probably won't take too many unnecessary chances racing us real hard, but nevertheless, they're in it to do the best job they can also.
How close are you on fuel?
We're probably going to be 2 to 3 laps short.
And that's why they decided not to come in and top off, because even if they did top off, they were still going to be 2 laps short in the 6 car. But he's running a lot better than he's been all day long.
And a couple of guys right behind Mark Martin closing up on him, about to take some spots away. Mike Wallace in that 14 Conseco car is back in the 7th position. Has caught Mark Martin and appears to be a little bit faster. So does Elliott Sadler, the 21 car, behind Mike Wallace.
Elliott Sadler, in his last ride for the Wood Brothers, he goes to drive for Robert Yates Racing next year. Mike Wallace really doesn't know what next year holds for him. Will he be in that 14 car? Will he not?
Who knows?
He doesn't. I tell you, the question about the teammates and Mark Martin, he's got to catch him first. He's fallen 4 seconds behind Jeff Burton. Jeff running in 5th, and Mark is 4, almost 5 seconds behind the next position in front of him.
And right now, those other cars are outrunning Mark about a ½ second a lap. I think Mark's car is pretty good after a while, but it seems like it takes 25 or 30 laps to get it going.
Still, Nemechek closes on Dale Jarrett in the center of the corner, but then Dale gets up off the turns fast enough to keep him behind.
Well, Joe's trying to get him on the inside, and there's not much room left on the inside. As you can see, Joe tries to take a peek down on the bottom.
Oh, it might be some room this time. Oh, wasn't.
Like Alan said, 88 gets off the corner a little bit better.
And right behind these guys is Kurt Busch.
I haven't seen him in a while, huh?
No. And there's Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Burton. Check it out, Jeff Burton, that time the 99 car had the fastest time of the top 10 cars.
Kurt Busch led this race from lap 58 to 62, then again from 161 to 162 during a cycle of green flag pit stops, but despite winning the Bud pole for this race, has not been one of the dominant factors.
In the grass, practically.
Oh, they are.
Elliott Sadler looking outside of Mike Wallace, who's looking around Mark Martin. Again, this is for 6th, 7th, and 8th place.
Elliott's taking a look. He's there.
Oh.
Wow.
I mean, Mike Wallace does not want to give that spot up too easily because Jeff Gordon's back there as well. Now Mike's going to try it on the outside of Mark Martin.
And he's got the run.
Get it done, yeah.
Mark trying to protect his spot, drives it in. Nope, not enough. And here comes Elliott. So Mark needs spectacular. He's getting struggling right now. Drops him from 6th to 8th in that one lap. 24 car Jeff Gordon's going to try and take a spot too. Remember, Jeff got a lap back. He had fallen a lap down earlier in the race. 24 car rider got his lap back at the lap 94 caution when Michael Waltrip hit the wall in turn 2.
Well, Kurt Busch, you see, now is back in the 3rd position, 13 points ahead of Jimmy Johnson. What about the 24 car, Dave?
BP, they stayed out. They did not come in and top off. And Robbie Lewis and Richard radioed into Jeff. I think we might be okay. Go ahead and save the fuel whenever you can.
15 green on your tires, 1-5.
Couldn't make out what Ben Lester said that time.
I couldn't either.
John Andretti coming up behind Mark next to try and challenge him for the 9th spot. So after that set of pit stops, things not going very well for the 6 car. And that's tough because this is the stretch run to the finish of the race when he needed to be his best. Marty, got more on Mark?
Yeah, I just want to tell you guys exactly what Mark said. I just confirmed with Ben what he indeed did say, that the car is just too loose at the beginning of the run. But this has been the characteristic of Mark's car in the last half of this race. Loose to start, but it gets better the longer he runs. You're exactly right, BP. It tightens up real nice for him at the end of the run. That could play to his favor.
There's the gap. It was 89 to start the day. Mark is running 9th. Tony Stewart's 21st. And if a caution comes out now while Tony's in front of the leader, Dale Jarrett, he's going to come back and have the chance to gain a lot more positions in the closing laps. Now, 3 cars topped off on that caution before we went back to green. 17 car Matt Kenseth is the one who's running farthest up front of them. 15th in line now. 14 seconds behind the leader. And he doesn't have to move anywhere if this race stays green, because if he can make it to the finish on the gasoline, he goes to the front when everybody else in front of him stops.
That's right. Dave, can he make it the rest of the way?
They will be close. They knew they couldn't, because when they pitted, they were about 4 laps shy of the run they had made previously, 68 laps. Now, as we get a battle for the lead, and it looks like Joe Nemechek's finally going to get underneath Dale Jarrett as they head to turn 1, guys. But anyway, Matt Kenseth, it will be close. I think they can go.
If he does, he might steal the win.
My guess is they're going to try. Otherwise, they would not have come down pit road and given away all that track position.
So Joe Nemechek back out in front. He's led 106 of the 224 laps that we've run today. He's been the dominant car. Marty, what's this about Jeff Burton?
Yeah, not so fast about his teammate Matt Kenseth. Jeff Burton may be sitting the prettiest of them all. In 5th position right now, Paul Andrews tells me, yes, we can go all the way on fuel. They needed 9 laps of caution last time. Guess how many laps of caution there were?
Oh, and the 17 cars blowing up.
Matt Kenseth. Well, so much for that. No caution, though. Even though he left a little stream of liquid behind him on the access road.
He got off the racetrack pretty quick. You can see the oil.
Yeah. Now here comes Jimmy Johnson on Kurt Busch for 3rd. Not quite. Bill.
Tony Stewart on the radio in his car saying there is oil all over the racetrack where the 17 car erupted, trying to get NASCAR's attention through the official working their pit. Now the spotter also saying they can see oil on the racetrack. Zipadelli standing up with Tony on the radio saying there's oil on the racetrack, which obviously you would expect him to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Marty.
And you can imagine that sent panic through Mark Martin's pits. Jeff Paxton, one of the head engine builders for Roush Racing, went back immediately, ran to see what happened to the 17 car. Harry McMullen is another head engine builder for Roush Racing, sits on top of the toolbox at Mark Martin's pit, staring at the 17 car, wondering what happened and if it might happen to the 6th.
I am monitoring NASCAR's race control channel. They're checking with their spotters out in turn 3 and 4, and they're saying the track looks clean.
Yeah, they're not.
Oh, wait, caution. Caution's out. They've just put the caution out for oil in turn 3.
Oil in turn 3.
So Tony Stewart does get that lap back, as does Johnny Benson.
I wonder how many guys that didn't have to stop for fuel saw that oil.
Not many.
Most of them. Dave?
Matt Kenseth is here. Matt, from what you heard or felt, do you know what top engine, bottom of the engine?
It blew up. I don't know, broke a piston or something. So it's a shame. We had didn't have the fastest car today, but we had the fuel mileage figured out where I think we would have had a shot at the win at the end of this race. We were ahead of everybody else who could have made it, I think. So, it's real disappointing today. We needed to make it to the end. We needed to try to move up in a points position if we could. We ran a little bit more gear than was probably against our best judgment, but that's the place the motors make the power. That's the gear they want us to run, and just today it didn't last.
Do you think Mark ran a lesser gear? better on the motor, Mark Martin?
No, he's got more than me, so we'll see if he makes it.
Wow, keep an eye out for that, guys.
Yeah, because he's on the rev limiter just about every lap getting into turn 3, so we knew he was running a lot of gear.
Okay, take the fuel mileage to the finish out of the equation. Put Tony Stewart back on the lead lap along with Johnny Benson. And here we go head-to-head on pit road for track position with 40 laps to go.